Hello friends, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are doing well. So today we're gonna do some fun Sashiko coasters, something like this. So I went ahead and did two sets of coasters here just to kind of play around with some colors. They're so much fun. So like this one, I just did a natural 100% cotton fabric, and they are 2-layered, and I just use my DMC floss with this particular stitch. I use 3 strands on each with just the green and the orange. I thought it would be fun for like the fall, pumpkin, Halloween kind of theme. You can even do the purple and black added in here if you like, but I stuck with just the 2 colors. So so this is one set, and then what finished up the coasters, instead of just a regular square pieces of coasters, I went ahead and took the same color and created a tassel. I think it turned out really cute. So, and then here's another one. This one is so much fun too. I was able to incorporate different colors of thread in here, and this particular thread I use the crochet thread. They're almost like a pearl cotton, but they're really not. They're just cotton crocheting thread. Sometimes they come in big ball like this. I can substitute this for my Sashiko thread, just depending on the size. So I use all 5 of this color for this particular one, and again I created the tassel. I think they add so much to the coasters. And this one I use 100% cotton in blue, and so the blue, I love blue, and I think the blue just turned out really pretty. So this is a project that we're gonna be doing. I've been talking about some fun project to share with you guys, and I finally am able to sit down and really start working on them. So here we go. What you need is just you pick your fabric, whatever color you want that will coordinate good with your fabric and your thread. And so this square measures 5 by 5 inches, and so obviously you need 2 pieces of it to create 1 coaster. So you know, you decide how many you want. So to begin with, you get your size, right, and then you find your right side of the fabric, which one you want, the right. And so you can either take this to your iron, or take one of these if you have it, or you can just use your hand, or just kind of press it. I'm looking for the center on my fabric. I need to mark the center on each side of my fabric, and as well as the middle point of it. So that's all I do. Like I say, you can take this to your iron if you like. And so when you're done, you can now see which is, there's the center and each center on each corner, right? This is how you want to do it. You just take any regular ruler and just follow the grid line on your paper, starting in the center, and take a white marking pen and then draw your line. Some of these marking pens takes a little bit to show up because they need to take time to dry. It's hard to see right now, but I prefer to use my white soap. Without the grid, I need to have a see-through ruler, so where I can lay my ruler and I can see that first line I did. So I can use either this or this guy, okay? And I just match my grid, my ruler on top of that line that I just created, and then I just draw my next line. Okay, and then I just keep doing it like that. This is what takes the time and patience, and then you're gonna go the other direction as well. Your whole piece is gonna look like this. Okay? And so when you're done, you'll have this little square on your fabric. You will begin to stitch. We're going to pretend I have the whole thing done, okay? We will pretend that this is the whole thing. I just wanted to show you how I stitched it. So I start from the very top and begin my running stitch, skipping, alternating my grid. And so that's what it looks like, right? And then we're going to turn around. We're going to alternate, continue to alternate our grid. We're going to go to that next grid and then start stitching on the, and this is what it looks like when you begin to alternate your stitches. See how it's offset? And then the next row, it offset from that top. And then you just keep going, doing this stitch until you complete the whole area. Make sure you don't pull too tight. You want to just keep your stitches nice and straight and relaxed. There's not much tension. So that's what it's going to start looking from top all the way to the bottom, okay? So when you're done with your running alternation stitches, this is what your pattern is going to look like, okay? So right now it's laying vertically, right? So you want to turn the fabric horizontal, so your stitches would be horizontal. And then what you do is you begin on that very corner stitch, bottom, stick your begin your stitch there. Begin your stitch there, go up, and then start weaving. I like to just take the back of my needle to do my weaving because I tend to pull some of the fabric through. So this is much easier. And so I go weave it from the bottom stitch and then back to the top. The bottom and then back to the top, all the way across. So let me cut that so it'll stay out of our way. So if you have a serger, it's best to do a serger and serge the edge so the fraying will stop. So now we're at the end here, right? So you take your very end strand and bring it down to that bottom stitch there. So this way your stitches are looking like they're connected. You see how it's hiding? You can't see it. And then you're going to do the same thing with this stitch. Put it on the bottom of that stitch so it looks like it's a continuous pattern. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top. Now just watch your tension. Keep your tension together. So then this way your fabric is gonna, your pattern is gonna look really beautiful with that same tension that's happening with your weaving, okay? And you just keep on going like so. And that's what you're gonna end up looking all the way. Once you complete that section, your hexagon will be looking like this, okay? So the next step you need to do is you just take your thread and begin sewing your running stitch in the center of each of your hexagon. And you're gonna go from top to bottom. All you do is just go in and try to keep it uniform. I know it's hard, it's never going to be, but do your best. And you just go all the way across from top to bottom in this manner. And we're going to stop here. And that's what it's going to look like. And then when it's complete, it's going to look similar to this. Okay? Now, once that's all done, what you need to do is you take both pieces, right side facing together, and then you're gonna wanna stitch it together to finish your coaster. You can hand stitch or you can take it to your sewing machine. I like to take it to my sewing machine, and then I just leave a little opening. I always keep my opening on this section of the stitch, and then all I do is I just fold that and press it with my little roller, and then do this, and then I flip it. I tend to also just kind of cut my corners a little bit just to make sure there's not a lot of bulk in there when I turn it right side out. If you feel like there's a lot of fabric, excess fabric on the side, then go ahead and trim some of that if you need to. And then all you do is just turn it right side out. We're nearly done with the project. Turn it right side out and then just close this opening by hand stitching it. Super easy. Just do the ladder stitches. And so you just poke the corner. I'm just using my scissors, just doing it very carefully. So you just press your corner. You can take this to your iron if you like, and then you know, just to press it nice and neat there. And then this the opening, and I will just take a matching thread, a hand stitch. You start off bringing your stitch there on your underneath starting point, and then you just bring it in, pretend there's a knot there, okay? Make sure you got a knot. And then the ladder stitch is you go from one side, pick up about 1/8 of an inch, and then you go on the other side, matching it from that last stitch that you came out of, and then the opposite end again, and then so on. Okay, if you have a knot and we pull this taut, it will disappear that stitches. You see, you can't see the purple anymore, right? So that's how you want to close it, okay? And then once it's closed, this is how you're gonna go and put your tassel on. You got 2 strands there, and if we pull it, we feed it through your fabric here. It's a lot of strands, so it's going to be a little struggle there. Okay, and then you just cut the strand from your needle eye, and now you have a total of 8 strands. Okay, you could do another one. Let's do another one. So how many do we have now? 16 strand. Okay, now you take one good size, at least a good 6 inches. Okay, you fold it uneven, giving yourself a little bit of tail, because that tail is gonna wrap around to create your tassel. So you fold that, and then you lay the loop on top. So let me find the longer strand. There's the longer. The short one will go right there, and then there's the long, and then you just wrap it. Now when you wrap your tassel, you want it pretty uniform with the rest of them. So just remember how many times you wrap it. I tend to wrap mine at least 5 times. It's up to you. You decide how many. I probably went 6 this time. I'm not counting because I'm just running my mouth. And you pull that tail inside that loop, and then you find that other tail and you pull it. Look what happened when I pull it. It secures that thread, and then it'll, if you keep pulling it ever so tight, it will tuck it underneath. Okay, it's underneath now. And you pull both tail now to make it tighter. Okay, now sometimes the top layer can just lay, but sometimes it just have a mind of its own. And so it's all right. You could just cut it. It's tucked in there. It's not going nowhere. And then now you just cut the size of your coaster, of your tassel. I have mine at 2 inches. And voila. You have yourself a beautiful little coaster. All right, friends, I hope that you enjoyed today's project and that you give it a try. You can certainly play around with the kind of fabric you want to use, and same thing with the thread. Like I said, I used DMC floss on this particular one and just crocheting cotton thread on this one. It's a lot of fun, super easy, just a lot of patience. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall chat with you again next Friday. Take care, friends, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.